Good afternoon, friends. Yeah, good afternoon, Abhishek. Abhishek, you are not audible. No, you are not audible. Still, you are not audible. Now you try to unmute and do. Chaitanya, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Jha sir is not, Abhishek sir is not audible.
Abhishek, you are not audible. Can you reconnect? You leave and again join. Okay, by the time he comes, I'll inform you few things. Actually, I got the presentation and some of the exercise problems from Dr. G. Sarvanakumar through email. So I will be sending you those files to you. You can have a look and you try at your places. And right now,
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible now?
Yeah, right. You know, sometimes when you try to do Microsoft Word, no,
Sir.
when you try to type it and do, no, something happens in the screen. So one day I was sitting with my supervisor and I was asking, sir, what is happening? You are asking me, even Bill Gates don't know all these things actually. So he was talking actually, who talked over to Windows. No? Sometimes it happens. You should always reboot things actually. Anyway, welcome, Dr. Abhishek. And so let me introduce about the speaker. Dr. Abhishek has done his master's and PhD in robotics, and he has about 12 years of teaching and research experience. And he is working as assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, GH Rai Soni College of Engineering, Nagpur. And His areas of interest basically include the robotic planning, programming by demonstration, imitation learning, machine vision, manipulator kinematics and dynamics. And Dr. Abhishek is a professional member of Robotics Society of India, Association of Machines and Mechanisms, IST, Indian Society for Technical Education. He has more than 12 international publications in his credit. And Dr. Abhishek is an expert in MATLAB. So whenever he used to be in Nagpur, means VNIT, so people used to go to him and get the things cleared when he was working at MATLAB. He is a very senior person in the, if you ask me, in terms of MATLAB expertise actually. So with these few words, I will request Dr. Abhishek Jha to share his experiences and work related to MATLAB. He will be trying to explain you about MATLAB, how to solve the problems, few things. So at least you can get touch up with the what he is going to tell you and understand, try to understand. Because earlier when we were having the offline this one-to-one, the whole day Dr. Abhishek used to take at least right from morning 8 to evening 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock also used to take lectures on MATLAB, or at least 2 afternoon sessions we used to dedicate to him actually. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you again for being a part of this Triple 20. And really, we miss your physical presence here, actually.
Me too,
Thank you.
sir. First of all, thank you very much, sir, for your kind words, and once again given me opportunity to be part of this program. So, shall I begin with my lecture?
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have any network issue bandwidth, then you can switch off your video, then you can continue. Otherwise, you
yes.
can. I will
Yes,
also.
I will switch off the video, sir, because I'll go switch to that MATLAB platform. So sometimes it may create a bit of problem.
So I will also switch off my video. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay.
Fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, very good afternoon to all the participants, and welcome to this somewhat hands-on session of Triple M. So here in today's session, we will be discussing about few things about MATLAB, how you can utilize this particular tool for working in the different domains of mechanical engineering. So immediately I start with the my presentation. So as we all know that MATLAB is a versatile tool for working with the data and extract useful information from it. So right now we all perform some sort of data analysis in our professional life while dealing with the students, while working on some research problems. So ultimately we deal with the data and the analysis of data. So MATLAB provides MATLAB is a good tool for working in such kind of for working with such kind of problems. So basically, it was derived as a matrix laboratory. It was earlier developed as a platform which was used for dealing with the matrices. And nowadays, it has become one of the major, or you can say the main computing platform in scientific domain. So the biggest advantage of the MATLAB is its simplicity and wide documentation. So it provides a good way to deal with the real life problems, as well as it is easy to use. So right now, if we talk about the applications, so in industry, millions of engineers and scientists trust MATLAB. And the reason for that trust over MATLAB, apart from the other computation platform, is it is professionally built. So that means each and every thing, each and every tool or function you utilize within the MATLAB is seriously tested and heavily documented. So whatever functionalities you are using for MATLAB, that is tested, tried and tested, as well as documented. So that is the first advantage we can say the MATLAB possesses. The second thing is its interactive apps and interactive environment. So with the release of the latest versions of the MATLAB, now it is becoming more and more interactive. So earlier we used to code the heavy things in MATLAB or in other programming languages, but now the software is mostly using interactive tools and apps kind of feature. So you can simply just play with the graphic user interface and perform more complex analysis. And the third main feature of the MATLAB is the ability to scale. So whatever be the size of your problem, whatever be the size of your analysis, you can scale it up or scale it down to perform various analysis. So these are some elementary facts about MATLAB. And MATLAB comes with a variety of toolboxes. So toolboxes are nothing but the collection of different functions and programs in different domains. So depending upon your license type, your MATLAB installation may have a number of toolboxes. So these toolboxes are dedicated or specific functionalities from different domains, like you may have the computer vision system toolbox, control system toolbox, then fuzzy logic toolbox, optimization toolbox. So these toolboxes are nothing but the collection of different functions and programs which you can specifically use within your program structure. So this toolbox collection totally depends upon the license what you have with your installation. So this is some introductory fact about MATLAB. Next, we go to the major applications as well as the capabilities of MATLAB. So the first application or capability of MATLAB is for the analyzing and visualizing data. So as I discussed earlier, we generally work with the large amount of data, whether in research or while dealing with the students' projects or any other real life problem. So we usually have data. So MATLAB gives you a very good functionality to analyze the data. So here within the MATLAB, what you can do, you can organize your data. You can clean and you can analyze complex data sets from diverse fields. The data may be from any field, maybe from engineering, maybe from biological field, maybe from financial field. So it is irrespective of the particular field or irrespective of the particular domain. So there are various toolbox which provides functionalities for several other domains apart from the engineering. So the data you can analyze very comprehensively in the MATLAB, and you have some pre-processing and post-processing capabilities which are specifically designed for engineering and scientific data. So various data types you can use during your analysis, and you can apply the pre-processing in data, you can apply the post-processing in data. Then these are the two facts about the data types. Then next thing is the visualization. So when it comes to visualization, MATLAB stands for one of the best platform. So here you have several functionalities to visualize your data, to plot the things. So apart from the routine plots or routine visualization, customized plots and customized visualization is also possible. So if you are working on some problem which requires some customization of the plots or customized representation of the data, so that kind of things are also possible with MATLAB. So this is one of the major application and capability of MATLAB. Then second thing is programming and developing algorithms with MATLAB. So whenever we work on some real life problem, we do not get some ready-made things. So to solve such problems, we have to utilize several functionalities from different domains, several functions from different fields to solve a real life problem. So in such case, what one can do, one can develop a program within the MATLAB, as well as one can develop an algorithm for a specific purpose. So MATLAB is a very good tool for programming and developing algorithm because it provides a simpler way. Simpler means as compared to some other computing platforms, what you have in C, what you have in Python, or there are several platforms. So MATLAB is a simple one to use, simple one to learn. So it provides a simple interface to program the things, just like in a textbook manner, what we used to solve problem in a pen paper or we see in a textbook. So that kind of analysis, that kind of structure is also possible, and it contains thousands of core mathematical, engineering, and scientific functions, what you can directly use in your program as well as in your algorithm. Apart from that, it has a very good functionality to edit, to debug, and to optimize algorithms. So once your program or algorithm is ready, there are several tools which you can utilize to test your program, to test your algorithms. So this is the second major application of the MATLAB, and we next move to the third one. Third major functionality is the developing and deploying applications with MATLAB. So due to extensive hardware support as well as support to the other computing platforms, it is nowadays it is very common as well as common to use MATLAB as a total development platform. So whatever things or real life problem you are working on, or whatever prototype you are trying to design, you can utilize MATLAB at every stage of your analysis. So this you can observe from this particular figure that apart from the connecting different sensors, then data processing, visualization, and the last step is testing the prototype. So all these steps, these are the sequential steps in a development of a product or in a designing a product. So you can utilize MATLAB and Simulink in all stages of this development operation. So this is another major application or capability of the tool MATLAB, and it provides very good functionality among the cross platforms. So once your coding is done in the MATLAB, what you can do, you can convert those codes into Python codes, or you can generate Simulink blocks, you can develop control systems, or you can generate some other programming language code and directly deploy that codes to the hardware. So this capability is also present in MATLAB. So these are the three major capabilities present in MATLAB. So now we come to the applications. So frequently we are asked that what are the major engineering, mechanical engineering applications of MATLAB. So if I talk about the curriculum structure, and then in most of the institutions or in most of the organization, the mechanical UG structure is such that where they are not much exposed to the programming or the analysis part. But if we look to the data or mechanical engineering applications of MATLAB, then all three core fields, whether it is design or thermal or production, have the major usage of MATLAB. So whether it is a research problem or whether it is a student project, so we can utilize MATLAB in different fields for different purposes. So these are some of the common areas like statics, dynamics, vibration, control system, fluid mechanics, heat transfer. These are the major areas where MATLAB can be extensively used for solving, for analyzing various problems. The next thing is getting started. So usually this question comes, how do I start with my applications in MATLAB? So to answer this particular problem, I would say that 50% of the part can be done by the software and 50% part is to be done before solving the problem. So first thing that I used to suggest before using MATLAB is the problem statement. So if somebody is designing something or somebody is starting to use MATLAB for a particular application, for a particular analysis, I used to suggest work more on the problem statement, because once the problem statement is clear what we exactly have to do with the software platform, then it is much easier and much faster to get the results, to do the computations fast. So these are the 4 steps for starting with any application in MATLAB. The first step is to formulate the problem. So first of all, look at the data and analyze the situation or analyze the problem, what we are exactly want to do with the data, what we exactly want to do with the analysis. So the problem formulation is of prime importance. Once the problem formulation is done, then it can easily be solved in the MATLAB or in any other computational platform. Then the second step in this process is to identify the probable solution. So once the problem statement is ready, then we have to identify what sort of solution or what sort of answer we are looking for. So we have to identify that what kind of solution we may require for this particular problem. And once these two things are fixed, these two things are identified, then we can solve the problem using MATLAB. And next thing, or the most important thing, is to verify the solution, because ultimately it's a computational platform. It possesses certain functionalities, will give certain inputs, and it will definitely give certain outputs. But whether that particular output is of our use or not, whether it is solving our purpose or not, we have to verify that particular condition. So once you get the solution from the MATLAB, then it is necessary to verify the solution. So these are the 4 important steps to getting started with MATLAB. Formulate the problem, identify the solution, solve it, and verify the solution. So these are the 4 steps. Then next thing is getting started. So once you are done with the previous step, so what one has to do to start in MATLAB, again, it's a 2-step process. So first thing is to learn about the basic terminologies. So what are the desktop basics, how we specify the vectors, matrices, then indexing of the matrices or arrays, then what is workspace, character string, calling function. So these are some basic elements of the MATLAB. So whatever basic terminologies are required to write a code within the MATLAB environment, that we need to identify first. It's a one-time step. Once these things are cleared, once these things are learned, then we need not to refer it again and again. Then the second step is to use the dedicated toolboxes and functions. So this is something where we have to, one has to work, because once these things are cleared, then only we have to explore the different toolboxes, different functionalities, and check the applicability of a certain functions to our problem, to our workflow. So these are the two steps for starting the MATLAB. Then we come to the major topic of this presentation, MATLAB for manufacturing. So in manufacturing engineering, there are a lot variety of problems. There are a variety of problems that can be solved using MATLAB. So there are numerous toolboxes, numerous functions that we can utilize for solving particular problems within MATLAB. So here I am particularly discussing two tools. First one is the curve fitting toolbox, or CF tool, which is widely used in data analysis. And second one will be optimization toolbox that I will discuss after some time. So first tool is the curve fitting toolbox. So in this particular toolbox, you get the functionality to analyze the data as well as to fit the curve as well as surfaces. So in manufacturing engineering problem, what is the general scenario? We used to perform different experiments. We take readings, we take data. And once that data is collected, then we used to interpret or extract useful information, useful relation in that particular data. So this is a very general problem used in the manufacturing side when we go for the research problem or some design of things kind of problem. So where we generate data and analyze data. So first toolbox, which is quite useful for such kind of applications, is the curve fitting toolbox. So in this curve fitting toolbox is an app that gives functionality to fit curves and surfaces to the data. So within this toolbox, what you can do, you can pre-process and post-process the data, then compare the candidate models and remove outliers. As well as you can perform linear and non-linear regression analysis also. And this toolbox provides the complete functionality to analyze your data. And whatever solvers the toolbox provide, they are optimized for the specific purposes. Okay, so let us switch to the MATLAB environment and see what we can do with the curve fitting toolbox. Is it visible? Is this screen?
Visible.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so this is the desktop environment of MATLAB. So for those people who are using MATLAB for the very first time or not exposed to the MATLAB, I'll briefly describe this environment. So whenever you start MATLAB, this window appears. So this is the command window. And here I'm using 2015A version of the MATLAB. So in later or earlier version of the MATLAB, the appearance may slightly differ. So I'm discussing the things as per this 2015A version. So this is the command window of the MATLAB. So this window is where you give some input and you'll have some outputs like A is equal to 2, B is equal to 3. So this is quite possible. This is the window where the output of the program is displayed. So in output, this command window, you can see the 3 tabs. First one is the home tab with this much functionality. Second one is the plot tab. So in this tab, you'll find different types of plots. And third one is the apps type, which I discussed that it is a app-based environment. So here the different apps will appear depending upon the license type. So these are the 3 tabs, and these are the 3 tabs, and this is command window. And we used to write the program in a file, so that is called script file. So to open the script file, what you have to do, you have to open a new script, and this is an empty file where you can write your program. So where you can write your program. So once you activate a script file, the 3 tabs will further appear, that is editor, publish, and view tab. So that we will discuss later. So this is the command window, and I was discussing about the data types. So first thing that we discussed about the MATLAB, you can analyze different kinds of data within the MATLAB environment. So that data you can directly export in different formats. So that data you can directly import within the MATLAB. So this is the workspace where whenever you enter the data, some data or any data, that will appear here. And this is the current folder pan where your files in the current directory or files in the current folder appear. So first of all, we'll see how we can load the data within the MATLAB environment. So it allows you to import different file formats. So there is a tab called import data. Just click on this import data. So the files on your current folder will appear where you might have saved certain data. So for example, I am opening this test3 file. What I from away.
Your voice is breaking, Abhishek.
This is not clear, sir.
Again, still. Yeah. No, but there is some break actually. It is not clearly audible for the last 1 minute.
Okay, I'll just check it. Maybe you too. Connectivity.
Possible.
I simply put it put an Excel file within the map. In the Excel sheet, I'm just indexing the
Abhishek, still it is breaking. The voice is breaking.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah. Now it is okay, I think. It's better.
Sir. So I have just renamed these titles of these three. There's a option to
Again, it is breaking. Breaking.
format. So actually, no such. My Wi-Fi connection is also problem.
Continue, we'll see again.
There's a to select which kind of so as you may and it as and the I'll just clear it. Once again, I'll enter. X5. So previously used to open an X. Same. Even that particular in my workspace. Load. So what I that data available. Uh, to import the in MATLAB. So thing let us what I'm doing, two vectors. First vector x values and y. So how we can find the fitting toolbox of matrix. Let's go to the plots tab. Still voice problem is there. Participants, please respond in the chat box.
Now it is clear, I think.
Is it clear? Hello, hello.
Now it is clear. Yeah, now it is
Okay,
clear.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. So once we select different variables in the workspace, so the MATLAB plot tab will indicate what may be the possible plotting types for the selected data. So right now we select a simple line plot. Like a simple line plot. How this is what we can say, right, is a which is using so how we can will simply click and base two tab will window and several options. So what we have fit curve. We are specify. So what sort of relation there exists between these two data types, so that we can develop from this particular operation. So first of all, I'll click the linear. Okay, so you can see a linear fit has been generated. Has generated. And I have, okay, so based on this linear fitting, what linear equation or what equation there exists, it is displaying that particular equation. So here you'll get the expression for that particular equation. So y is equal to P1x plus P2. So this is for linear fit. This is for linear fit. Okay. And coefficient of P1, P2, I can get it from here, and norm of the residual, I can also get it from here. So this is one way. Next thing is to go for the quadratic. Okay. So instead of linear fit, we selected say polynomial with the P1, P2, P3 coefficient and the norms of the residuals. Okay, so in this particular fashion, I have to box. I simply am operating, or I am sizing things. Or classroom from so solution, but in actual or real life problem, entry in the data set. Now we are seeing 5 entries, so there may be n number of thousands of entries, 10,000, 5,000, some hundreds of entries may be there in the data types. So in that particular situation, this simple tool will not help you, because right now for assessing of the rest, see and load some sample. Load sample experiment. This is a particular app called was opening window. Respond in the chat box. Okay, thank you, Nikhil sir. So this is the window of the curve fitting toolbox. So what I did, I simply loaded the data and clicked the curve fitting app from the toolbox, from the apps tab. So this is the basic window of curve fitting tool. Here the types of fit will appear. Here you'll have the visualization of the fitting, and here the results will be displayed. So this is the window for curve fitting toolbox. So what we have to do, we have to select the data. So first of all, I am selecting the X data. So in X-axis, I am taking the thermal expansion, thermex, and in Y-axis, I am taking the temperature. It's enabled, it is automatically okay. So just have a look, just Y data automatically fitted line. Change the options so you can go you or you go select so how so you polynomial the coefficient polynomial. Giving you twice there are that's of it. This is parameters like E square RM based on where it's you is good order or 6 so you have to look and analyze the that means 16 not 4 which will the good matrix. So based on this particular data, what you can do, you can select your application. Okay, so you can see that there are different types of fitting curves or models are listed over Wilbur, sum of sine, smoothing spline, power, polynomial, linear fitting. But in real life problem, it may happen that your data does not suit to any of these equation types. So in such particular case, what you can do, you can go for the custom equation fit. You can go for the custom equation fit. So you can write your own expression in this particular place. You can define y as a function of x. Okay, so you can, in this particular case, you can define your custom equation and check the fitting of the data. The fitting of the data. So you can define your own equation and you get the data fixed. So once you are done with the analysis part, you want to repeat it for some other data for n number of different observations. Is it still breaking? So this is how you define your custom equation for fitting. And once you are done with the analysis, what you can do, you can go to the option. You're done with, once you're with this, what you can do, you can go and select the generate code option. You can generate the option. A code for this. Program. You do and open the tool again and the same procedure. With the generate particular operation and find have n number of program. So you can use that. So this was a program and the file name of the generated and simply that file to will
Abhishek, your voice is not clear.
stay.
No, actually, I think the MATLAB is taking a lot of internet, I think. So that is the reason why it is breaking. You can close your PPT, everything.
Participants, please respond. Is it clear now? Audible now properly?
Now it is audible. Proper
Uh,
also.
that may be due to the poor RAM of my system, sir.
Possible. Possible actually. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's fine.
Sorry for the inconvenience caused, sir.
No problem. So can I share this video with the participants?
Yes.
Okay, participants, I'll share this video with you. So maybe you can go through also. That is also one. Yeah, you can continue.
So covering toolbox and you are done with and send it to you. And then the analysis and program generated for the operation that the tool. So one more thing I would like to discuss in what data and that's a what so I'm again doing right now the load for Z or the size okay so right so X I have selected Y and so and the so here different speed what you do what you curve fitting or possible, and also with the generate for this. So this is one way start using curve fitting tool. Optimization, what is the functionality? We try to optimize certain parameters. Okay, so in curve fitting toolbox, what we did, we generated a particular equation, or we developed a relation between the data type. And now what we want to do, we want to optimize that particular equation for our application. So for that purpose, we have to go to the optimization toolbox. Okay, so it is again in the few more inputs from the user. Few more inputs from the user. So what maybe that just should try to find the parameters, the optimal parameters. Okay, so we try to minimize or maximize certain objective function, and that objective function may be subjected to several constraints. So in optimization toolbox, you'll have you'll get the functionality to optimize or to find optimal solution of various linear and non-linear or different types of problems. And there you can perform various kinds of analysis, like you can find the optimal solutions to continuous and discrete problems. You can perform trade-off analysis. Then you can utilize the different optimizations and methods to different algorithms and applications. So there are lot more functionalities available in the optimization toolbox, and it is also one of the most widely used toolbox within MATLAB for different domains. Okay, so in optimization problem setup, what you have certain functions, certain objective functions. So this is the, say for example, objective function where you have to minimize this particular function, this equation, and it's subjected to this particular constraint, a nonlinear inequality constraint. So this particular equation is subjected to this particular constraint. So we have to minimize this particular equation. And what are the probable steps? So for solving any optimization problem, what you have to do first, you have to write your objective function in a function file, in a separate function file. So first you have to generate a file which contains only this particular objective function. Then you have to generate a second file which contains this constraint equation. So if there are 7 constraints, then you have to define those 7 constraints in the constraint file. It may be equality type, it may be inequality type. Okay, so whatever be the constraint, whatever be the constraints of the problem, that you have to specify in a particular separate file, and objective function you have to specify in a separate file. And once those things are done, you can directly use the solver to solve that particular problem. And one thing you have to note that in optimization toolbox, all optimization toolbox optimization functions minimize an objective function. So basically whatever tools or functionalities available in the MATLAB, that is for the minimization type of problem. And if you have a maximization problem where you want to maximize something, in that case you can change your optimization routine to -f. That means your objective function you can write in negative. So instead of minimizing, it will maximize the thing. So here the two things that you have to observe. First thing is the objective function in a separate file, and second thing is the constraint equation in the second file. Okay, so I'm just closing this. Okay, so this is a previously generated file for that particular objective function. So just have a look at this particular equation. This is a function file where I have written that particular equation which you just saw in the presentation file. So 100 into x2 minus x1 square whole square plus 1 minus x1 whole square. So this is the objective function. Okay, I have saved this objective function in the name of Rosenbrock. This is the function name. Okay, and I have this is just a single line file which contains only objective function. This is just a single line file. This is just a single line file, you can see from here. Okay, so this contains only objective function. And next thing is you have to write the constraint equation in a separate file. Okay, so just have a look. We have written the constraint equation in this particular file. So this is C. Okay, so there was one constraint. There was one constraint. Okay, x1 square plus x2 square minus 1. Okay, so that expression was written in the inequality form, so you have to convert it into this particular equation. So whatever constant value you may have in the right hand side, that you have to shift to the left hand side. So this is the standard syntax for solving this, for writing the equation in constraint file. So this is the constraint equation, and the solver also requires one equality matrix. So we have just made it a null matrix or blank matrix. So this doesn't contain any value, but this is necessary for representation. So just have a look. This is the objective function, and this is the constraint equation. Just 2 lines of codes we have written. Okay, so what we have to do, we'll now switch to the optimization toolbox. So again, from the apps tab, what you can do, you can select the optimization. And it a particular window. Okay. All the terms, don't try to change the default values, okay, because that are pre-optimized or pre-tested values. So what we can do, we can go with the specific values until and otherwise we'll have some much more information about the stopping and solution criteria. So first thing is listed here is the solver. So this is the solver and this is the algorithm for a particular solver. There may be different algorithms available. So for this fmincon type of problem, you can see the 4 algorithms are available. We'll go with the default. And here is listed. So here we have to find the starting that you can share the other final related to the optimization. Okay, so you can get solved. So right display to command window the iterate display. So what solution we will get that will display command window. Okay, so we need to function solver. We are not changing the solver as well as the algorithm. So objective function. So for defining the objective function, what you have to do, you have to give the sign of @. This is the function handle, file handle, and write down the name of that file. So that name of that file was Rosenbrock. So I have to specify Rosenbrock. Okay. So what I did, I simply described the file name over here, and start point I have to specify. So I'll start with say 00, 0, 0 in a big bracket. So this is the objective function and this is the start point. And next thing, we have to specify the nonlinear constraint function. So you may remember that the constraint equation was saved in another file. So we have to give the file name of that particular constraint equation. Okay, so the file name was unit disk. Okay, so we are done. So what we did, we specified the objective function file name, we specified the constraint function file name, we gave the starting point, and what we are doing, we are displaying the computation in iterative fashion to the command window. So we are done with the problem setup, and there is a start tab. Simply click this start tab and your solution will begin. Okay, until now we switch to the command window to look at the solution. It has finished computing the solution. So you can see that this is the iteration number and functional count and functional values. Okay, so it has performed 24 iteration and local minimum was found for the selected set of problem. For the selected problem, the local minimum was found. Okay, so it performed 24 iterations and it has got the solution, optimal solution. And what is that optimal solution? That optimal solution is this. First variable is 0.786 and second variable is 0.618. And it will display that why this optimal solution or how this optimal solution was obtained, because the functional tolerance and constraints are satisfied to within the default values of constraint tolerances. So whatever constraint tolerances we have utilized for solving that particular problem, for that particular solution, that was achieved. And you can observe that there is negligible change in the functional value for 2-3 iterations. We do similar kind of things while solving the problem in a pen and paper mode also. We go for 2 or 3 digits iteration of some, in some cases. Deviation. Yes. You can see simply equation in a 2 files, and we simply find the starting point. Okay, and we simply click optimal solution. You have obtained, suppose you have obtained a problem from the experimentation or from some analysis problem type, you can go for the optimization. Okay, so this is very easier and simpler way to solve the optimization problem over here. And once you are done with the analysis, what you can do as usual, you can go to the generate code, file and generate code option. Okay, I'll simply generate the code for I'm using okay, the optimized solution has been updated. So this is the optimization problem. Again, it is a
Dr. Abhishek,
yes, sir.
We have 10 minutes more, so we can use this
Uh,
time for the session. If
Within 2 or 3 minutes, I'll be summarized. Within 2 minutes.
sure. Okay then. Okay.
Yeah. The generate code and this and rest things has all. So this is a so you that particular we gave the starting point as 0. Okay, so we have to just input the starting point. So in this time I enter 10 and say 50. In previous computation, starting point was 0 and this particular 10. Okay, again come up with the same solution 0.786. Just writing 2-3 lines of code, you can perform the optimization also within MATLAB. So this is a very good feature of the MATLAB. That presentation. Okay, so I'll stop here, and if you have any questions, you are most welcome. You can type your questions in the chat box.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. So though I have given only one session, I should have conducted half the session, half the workshop with you only, actually. So
Thank
then
you.
only people will be able to get satisfied.
So,
Right. So if you have any queries, you can, though there is some problem in the voice breaking, but I will share this video with you. I don't know. I think I should be able to share with you. So you can try at your places. And if you have any queries anywhere, I will be sharing the email ID of Dr. Abhishek Jha also. So you can have some discussion with him over email. Actually. So if you have any doubts or any queries, you can always write in the chat box. Otherwise, I'll unmute everyone. Yeah, I've unmuted. You can ask actually. Please share the video. Definitely, I'll share the video. Don't worry at all. Okay, there is one student, sir. Is R language better than MATLAB or not? It performs more or less same functions.
basically, R and MATLAB are can perform the similar analysis, and it's the user which has to which is comfortable with. Since R is an I think I guess it's an open access platform, so it will have
R is an
its,
open platform, sir.
yeah. So that kind of advantage, it may definitely being extensively documented in variety of problems or various help inputs and communities things more better than
I think you can stop sharing the screen. So then it might be easy. Yeah, anything else, participants? You can write in the chat box or you can unmute by yourself and you can ask. I have unmuted everyone. I think nobody has any question. Unless they solve by themselves, they will have a lot of issues actually. So once they solve, okay, share this video. Everyone is asking video. I'll share this video. Don't worry at all. Definitely, I'll share. It's about, I don't know, somewhere around 80 to 100 MB will come. I'll share you. Okay, if you don't have any questions, then I can, we should thank the speaker and thank you, Dr. Abhishek Jha, for your kind attention and a kind acceptance first thing. So though you are at your home place, so I'm happy that you are being a part of this Triple 2020. And thank you very much. We'll have a greater interaction in future also. Thank you.
Sir. Once again, sir, thank you very much to you for giving me this opportunity to again be a part of this wonderful program under your leadership. And I would like to thank all the participants for their patient listening and cooperation during this session. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Sir, small query.
Somebody is having some. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Abhishek, sir, one small doubt. Sir, when we are dealing with numbers, what happens when your data has got some kind of text? You know, it has got some kind of a text classification. How do you work with that in MATLAB?
There is nothing to worry about that particular thing. You have a data type called string. So whenever you import that data, so in that import section, it will definitely show that it is a string, it is a number, or some kind of GPS data or any other data. So there are different classification of data types. So there is no such issue whether it is text or any other thing. So that comes under the string data type. So suppose a name is there. say triple M, and there are n number of readings. So that triple M will appear as a string, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 1 to 10 numbers, that will appear as integer or float or any other data type. So there is no such issue.
Okay, sir. So I can use the same global optimum command for a mixed data also, text and numbers.
Yes, you can. So in workspace, different variables will be listed. So it will clearly indicate your type of variable. Say X is a integer type, Y is a string type or character type. So there is no such issue. So accordingly, you can use that particular data.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
There is a question: is it possible to use MATLAB for parametric optimization of machining parameters like speed and feed?
Yeah,
It should be
definitely.
possible. Definitely, it is possible.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek. So the next session we are going to start at 4:15. Maybe we will delay by 5 minutes more because Abhishek sir has taken more time actually. So 4:20 we are going to start, and that will be for a 1 hour session, and you will be understanding what we have done in our machining of freeform surfaces. So 4:20 we are going to start. Thank you, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
So
sir.
I'll be ending this session actually. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.